वेलकम बैक। सो आई होप आप सब एक्साइटेड होंगे आज के सेशन के लिए। आज के इस इंटरेस्टिंग सेशन में वी वुड गेट टू नो अबाउट एआर, वीआर, एमआर। तो एक छोटा सा डिस्क्रिप्शन। एआर वुड बी ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी, वीआर वुड बी वर्चुअल रियलिटी एंड एमआर वुड बी मिक्स्ड रियलिटी। और आपको ताकि ये कॉन्सेप्ट इजीली और इन अ बेटर वे समझ आए, हमें दो स्कूल एम्बेसडर्स ज्वाइन करेंगे which have great knowledge on these topics. So first, I would like to invite with me in this session Prashoon.
Hi
Hello,
everyone, my
Prashoon.
name is Hello ma'am. Hi everyone, my name is Prashoon and I am a 13-year-old web and app developer. I am a JavaScript developer. I generally code in JavaScript.
That's great. That's great, Prashoon. So now with Prashoon, we have one more school ambassador joining us today, and that is Priyanshu. So welcome, Priyanshu.
Hi guys. I'm Priyanshu Prashoon. I'm a 17-year-old extended reality engineer currently studying in 12th standard, and I have more than 2 years of experience developing XR applications and more than 3 years of experience developing uh, with the Unity engine. So yeah, that is about me, and I'm also a YouTuber and have taught over 200 plus students at colleges and universities. Yeah, that's about.
That's great, Priyanshu. Thank you. So, guys, I know you would have a lot of questions with Priyanshu Prashoon. So, the comment section is open for you. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask them there. Now, guys, are you ready for the webinar? So, in this webinar, basically, I would like your help in clearing the concepts of AR, VR, and MR for our viewers. So, are you ready?
Sure. Yeah, we are ready.
Sure. Okay. Great. So let's go with the
Yeah,
first
totally.
question, which is a very basic question. And the first question that I would like to ask is Prashni, right? So what is XR?
XR stands for extended reality. So it is a term referring to all real and virtual combined environments and human machine interactions generated by computer technology and variables. Example, it includes representative forms such as augmented reality. So basically under XR, all of the augmented reality, mixed reality and virtual reality come in. So it's a term
So
referring to.
basically, okay. So basically, XR is a term which includes AR, VR, and MR, right? So
Right,
basically, if
exactly.
I ever want to represent, all three of them together, I should use the keyword XR. That is extended reality, correct?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Krishnan. That was great help. Now, with this question, you mentioned AR, VR, and MR, right? So, with this, I would like to give you another question. And my second question for you is, what is AR, VR, and MR, which comes inside extended reality?
As we know, XR encompasses of augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. While all three realities share common overlapping features and requirements, each has different purposes and underlying technologies. So, like as we go more in this session, we have more questions related to it. So, in that, we'll in detail explain each of them.
Okay. So, basically, what I would like is, why don't Priyanshu, what would you like to, add in this? If you have any input, would you like to share with us? Priyanshu, can you hear us?
Well,
Priyanshu,
Basically, how I like to explain AR, VR, and MR is that augmented reality is basically the the placement of digital objects into real world. Virtual reality is just another virtual environment by which by wearing an headset we can go in there. And mixed reality is just an advanced form of AR which has much more broader capabilities than AR. So yeah, that's what these three actually are.
yeah. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Priyanshu and Prashu. So basically, summarizing what both of you told me, AR is augmented reality. That is basically the real world which we, view in a, like a 3D space. Now VR is virtual reality, right? Like a virtual space. And MR is, a modified version of AR, correct? This is what you summarized for me. Correct?
Yeah, so basically augmented means that it's the real world, but we can add some 3D objects to it, like we use Snapchat. So in that is an example of AR.
That's great. That's great. So with this, thank you so much. Let's move to the next question. And guys, all the viewers that are connected with us today, if you guys have any doubts relating to AR, VR, MR, there are two experts sitting here, so you can ask any questions from them. So with this, I would like to put up another question for Prashul. How AR, VR, and MR are different from each other? Like we got to know about AR, VR, and MR. How are they different from each
So AR offers a more realistic experience since it never detaches users from the real world. So as we said, AR, you can access it with your phone. So let's say, as I gave an example of Snapchat. So if you are using Snapchat, then you can use some type of an effect or lens, and then in real world, like here I am sitting, and suppose you can change my face. Instead of that, there can be some emoji. So that's why AR never detaches the users. Okay, and then secondly, MR experiences are most realistic, and there's deeper integration between humans and computers with MR, since they can respond to each other's actions. So basically with MR, I guess there is haptic touch which comes in. So if you are playing a game, in the game you have to wear the entire suit, and if in game you get hurt, then even in real world you can feel that sensation.
Okay, that's great. So that is great. So basically, you helped us in understanding AR, VR, and MR in a better way. Thank you so much for that. And guys, don't worry, Priyanshu would be joining us back in just few minutes. So till then, we have Prashun. So if you guys have any questions for Prashun, we can ask them away in the chat section. Now, Prashun, I have another question for you, and that question is, how will AR and VR affect us in the coming future? Nowadays we daily hear AR and VR is coming, and it is like it's our future. So how would you like to describe how would they affect us in the future?
So the AR/VR devices of the future will provide personalized, accessible, and well-designed experiences. As these elements take hold, a shift is imminent, which means that as we go on more with technology, currently games are very popular. We play many games in our phones, so that is very popular. Similarly, in the coming time, even wearing VR headset or owning them will get popular. And finally, we talked about this, and in my opinion, in 3 years we are going to see new AR glasses with LTE capabilities that will become an alternative to the smartphone. So as I said, first smartphone was not very common, but now they are common. Similarly, headsets are not that common, but in the coming time they will be very popular.
So you are trying to say in the coming time, all of us would be wearing that headset, and we would be living in a world filled with AR and VR, right?
So it will be more like we have gaming consoles currently. Okay, so it will be like a luxury but not a need. Currently, smartphones have become a need, but I don't think AR or VR or XR and all will become a need in the future.
Okay, so basically they are a luxury. If you want, you can get them. If you don't want, it would not be a necessity. Like smartphones are a necessity, right?
Yeah,
But
like you have
maybe
PS5, which is not a necessity, or even Xbox. So it will be like a bit like that, I guess.
okay, great, great, great. So that was a very good example of the smartphone. And thank you for your input that it would not be a necessity, but it would be a luxury. So that cleared a lot of things for our users. Now one more question for you from my end is, which technology would win among AR, VR or MR? Like AR, VR or MR are there. Which technology would have the most impact in the future?
So as of now, AR is the most accessible reality technology, as people can use their smartphones or tablets to run augmented reality applications. For example, Instagram or Snapchat, and there are many more examples. There are some games also which use the same, like Pokemon Go. AR apps use a phone camera to capture the real world. Virtual objects are then overlaid and users can see them on their smartphone screen. So, like in Pokemon Go, you can have the Pokemon come in your environment and then you can catch. So, it is very accessible, and I can just use a smartphone and do that, compared to other things wherein you quite literally need a headset to make it work.
Okay, so basically you are saying that AR is somewhat the technology would have a more impact compared to VR or MR, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, now with this question, I would like to ask Priyanshu's input as well. So, Priyanshu, the same question for you. Which technology would win among AR, VR, or MR? What input do you have
Well,
for this?
what I think is augmented reality and mixed reality are the two domains that are going to basically, what can I say? They are the two that which are going to make the future. That's what they are going to do, because see, with VR we can't. It's just limited to a virtual environment with VR, but with mixed reality and augmented reality we can, what can I say, interact with the real world, including the virtual world. So obviously augmented and mixed reality would win if there was a battle amongst them. So
Okay,
yeah.
so I think both of you gave the similar response that AR is, which would have a major impact in the coming future, right?
Right,
So
right.
thank you so much, Prashun and Priyanshu, for your input. Now, I think Prashun has given a lot of input on AR, VR, and MR. So now let me ask some questions specifically to Priyanshu. Okay? So Priyanshu, I have a question for you. What if students do not have a headset for VR/AR? No, it's not very common that we would just go and get it. So if someone wants to learn AR or VR, so what should they do if they do not have the headset?
Well,
And is there any alternative?
yeah, actually, there is. The very first thing is, for developing AR and VR, it's not necessary to have a device. Although, for let's say, there are mainly two types of augmented reality: marker based augmented reality that runs in 99% of the smartphone devices. And after that comes marker less augmented reality. And at that point, you might need an AR core supported phone, but nowadays almost every phone which are getting released have AR core supported. So AR can run on any devices we see. But for VR, for if the person want to consume VR content, they would be needing a VR device. But let's say if they want to develop for VR, having a VR device is a plus. But let's say, just like I develop for VR, but I don't have a VR headset. So what there are some development tools, like we can mock a head mounted display. We can mock an head mounted display in our development environment and you use it to develop our VR application. So for getting started, it isn't quite necessary to have a VR headset, but and augmented reality can run on any smartphone or even on your laptop if it is marker based, and markerless will need AR core supported phones.
Okay, so that was great. Basically, you told us that for AR nowadays smartphones have that lenses that can help us. And for
Yeah.
VR, if you want to experience it, it is a necessity. But if you are in a developing, if you want to develop in AR field, it is not much of a necessity, right? You can use
Yeah.
mock version, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I would like to ask any mock version name that you use while you are working with AR, what that looks like.
Well, basically, when I use a tool called Unity Engine. So in there, there's an SDA called XR Interaction Toolkit. So with that, we can develop cross-platform VR applications. Let it be for Quest 2 or HTC Vive. We can develop for any VR platform we want, and they provide us an what kind I forgot the name of that. They already provide us with a mock HMD feature and also a keyboard controlled environment, so we can test our applications within the editor only. So we don't need any other software for that. Yeah, for mixed reality, when we there are two ways to work with mixed reality. I work with mixed reality, but I don't have a HoloLens too. So in Unity editor only, you will get another mock environment through which you can develop for HoloLens too. And there's an emulator also by Microsoft that you can use for free. Yeah.
Okay, so Microsoft Emulator and Unity are the two platforms where you can work with VR, right? Where
Yeah,
you can
totally.
mock. That's great. That's great. Now with this, I have a question for first. I have this question for both of you, but first I would like to ask the input from Priyanshu. What could impede the growth of virtual and augmented reality? What would you
Well,
like to say?
apart from the price, because currently what the main problem with VR devices, anyone can afford AR, because if someone has an smartphone, they can use AR at that point of time. So AR is not a concern for usage. But in VR, the price range is somewhat a problem in India, because if I say, it's around 22,000 for a Quest 2. In US market, it is around 20 to 22,000 the price of the devices, but in India it's around 40,000. So price definitely plays an very bad factor for slowing down the growth of VR. But if I had to say, the prices of VR are getting low as much as possible with time. So I don't think, and the growth will not stop. That's for sure. I know, because nothing can once it has started, nothing can stop the growth of VR and AR, because it's the future.
Okay, great. Now
Yeah.
with this same question, I come forward to Christine. So, like, what do you think would affect, like, negatively affect virtual and augmented reality?
First of all, as he said, cost of VR, that is right. And
Yes.
there is also difficulty in communicating the benefits of VR. So smartphones have been for such a long time, but now, as of now, after so many years, are is everyone using the smartphone? So the communication is a big gap which is there as of now. So once that is done, then there is cyber sickness which happens in VR. So basically, there are when you attach a headset and do it, it's a bit uncomfortable. And also, when you do all of this stuff, there is also online bullying, harassing, and all of that stuff. So that is also something to take in account. And other than that, if
Okay.
there is one company, Oculus, so it's of Facebook. So they also have their headset at 40,000, as he mentioned. So price is also a problem, and also the other factors are there.
Okay, that's great. And it is true that we need to overcome these barriers, correct? For AR and VR to grow fully. And that's great input from both
Right.
of you. And with that, someone from our viewers wanted to say hi to both of you. So from Sachin Raj, it is a hi to Prashun and Priyanshu. So he wanted to say hi to you guys. So let's move forward to the next question. And the next question I would like to ask Priyanshu first. Are there any lasting physical effects to use virtual and augmented reality? Just in the previous question, Prashun told us, whenever we wear that VR glasses, they affect our health. So,
Yeah,
are there any lasting physical effects of it?
there isn't any lasting one, like for, let's say, who has just used VR headset for the first time. The person would feel motion sickness. The person would feel nauseatic for some amount of time. Maybe the maximum it has gone, like whenever you use VR, the maximum it has gone up to 1 week, not more than that. So there isn't any lasting effect. But when you start, you might get motion sickness, because that's a total different environment. It is not working with with the orientation of us humans. So that difference between the actual human, what kind of perception and VR perception, makes it a bit motion sickness occurs. So that's what. But there's no lasting effect. And with augmented reality, there's no motion sickness or something. Like, there's no I don't think there is any health issues. Other than that, if you continuously stare the at the screen, your eyes will gets damaged. So we do that all day. We stare at our smartphones all day. So that's a common thing.
That's true. Okay, now with the same question, Prashun, would you like to give some input on this?
So currently, the health and safety guidelines for the Oculus Rift list a host of possible side effects with warnings ranging from seizures, nausea, and dizziness, as he mentioned, for children engaging in prolonged use, trouble with hand-eye coordination. While many effects are believed to be temporary and leave no lasting image, there have been few long-term studies into the use of technology, but nothing has been proven yet. So there is no solid, conclusive evidence that if we use this, then there will be some long-lasting problems. but temporary
Okay.
there are a few problems. But yeah, that will be
So,
addressed, I guess.
okay. So
Yeah,
both
that's
of
they
you.
just for maximum time they last for 1 week or so, but not more than that.
Right, right,
Okay, that's great, because sometimes, even parents and students would feel that, maybe this would affect us in a bad way, those glasses and all. But, it is a relief for everyone that they do not have a lasting effect. It is temporary, right? So
Yeah,
thank you
right.
so much.
it has not been any lasting effect has not been proved yet, but tomorrow if there is
True.
some scientific study, then we never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that's in the coming future. That's a very, very good advice from your side, Pratik. Let's move forward to my next question. I will ask it with Priyanshu first. What is the future of virtual and augmented reality? What do
Well,
you think will happen in the future?
within the next 5 to 10 years, we won't be using our smartphones. Like we will totally go hands free. We'll be having those smart glasses, and even in India only, Geo Glass is working. In the US market, Snapchat has their own lenses. I guess it was named Snap lenses. I don't exactly remember the name, but Snapchat has their own mixed reality lenses. Then Google. Yeah, Google is also working on something. I guess there was news on that, and GeoGlass in India is there, who's working on their MR headset, which I'm pretty sure, as it is Geo, the price point will be very low. So I think in the next 5 to 10 years, we will totally go hands free. We won't even need our smartphones.
So basically, we would, have those glasses and lenses, and we would be basically using AR and MR, right? Virtual
Yeah.
reality would be also there. I think AR and MR would have, more part in the future. So,
Right.
Prashun, do you have any input in this? What do you think
So
is the
according
future of VR and AR?
Yeah, so according to the reports, so the AR and the VR and AR market is expected to grow. I mean, the XR market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 63.3% between 2018 and 2025. It will reach like a market value of $571 billion. It's expected by 2025. So this growth will mostly result from the continued use of smart devices. As I said, it will all go hands free, and increase in internet connectivity and growth in mobile gaming.
Okay, that's great. And thank you so much, both of you, for your input. Now, the last question I'm going to ask is for both of you. And with that, this question is for the audience as well, okay, guys? So I would love to hear the response from the audience side as well. So, guys, you have the chance to connect with this question. So, whatever you feel, you can write over there. And then this question, whatever it would be, I will be displaying. And I want to know what you want, okay? So, here is the question that I wanted to ask. Where would you like to experience augmented reality? Like, in which place would you like to experience it? First, I would like to ask it with Priyanshu.
Well, for me, there isn't any such place where I would like to experience augmented reality. Like, I'm in this meeting, I can just take my phone and experience it. So it isn't necessary to be at some place to experience augmented reality. You just need to have the right device to experience it. That's the thing. Other than that,
Okay,
there's
so
nothing.
okay. So, where would you like to experience augmented reality, Prashur?
As of now, on a daily basis, I do use augmented, like I do experience augmented reality. Like if let's say I use Snapchat or Instagram, so Instagram stories, so I do use that feature. But if you ask about extended reality and all, then I can see this coming, like in malls. Currently, we in game zones, we can see we can in the future we can have a VR headset in the mall. Even now we have, but more commonly, and then there can be
Yes.
some games which include that, and that will be very fun if that happens. But augmented reality,
Yeah.
yeah, I do experience it on a daily basis.
Yes, that's very true. Even if I would want to, experience XR overall, I would like to experience this during shopping, because it is very tiresome to try everything
Right,
on. If I have those, VR, overall XR, it would be very easy for everyone. It is not very common. It is, coming very soon. It is not very common, but I would like to overall experience it. With that, we have a very good response from one of our viewers, and that is in games. So, guys, do you know any games where you can actually experience XR? This is a question from my friend. Like
Implement
XR,
XR.
yeah,
Implement or use it.
like you want to play a game that where you can experience this.
In VR, there are
Pokemon Go.
multiple.
Okay,
What I believe is
Prashul Prashul wants to answer something. Let's hear him out.
Yeah, no,
Then we can
I was
move
just saying
to.
that in Pokemon Go we can experience XR, and there are other games like if you search Metaverse, and in that there are many games that give you this experience.
Okay, that's a good example. And Priyanshu, which example would you like to tell us?
Well, there are plenty of games that are available on Play Store only for AR. There was this Pokemon game also, means not the Pokemon Go, but there was actually a Pokemon arcade game that you used to have two markers. I guess that game has stopped working now. Like it was 2 to 3 years ago. Now their servers don't connect. So in that game, what happened now? There were two markers, and at one marker some Pokemon will appear, and on the second another Pokemon will appear, and they can fight with each other. So
Okay.
augmented reality gaming is like a very big market. But if you really have to experience gaming, then I wouldn't say augmented reality is the only way. VR is the best way to experience immersiveness in gaming, rather than using augmented reality to experience gaming. So that's what I believe.
Okay, that's great, and I would like to thank you, Prashut and Priyanshu, both of you. You gave a wonderful insight on AR, VR, and MR, overall XR. There were so many doubts because it's not very common. It is getting common nowadays, but before we learn something, we need to know about it. So it was a
Right.
great session, and I would like to thank you for your wonderful input, and even our viewers would like to thank you for an amazing session from both of you. And thank you so much for giving us your precious time. And I hope that like work in AR, VR, MR. You achieve great things. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us in this session.
My
And
pleasure.
same goes for our viewers. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us in this session. Next week, we will meet at the same time with another interesting webinar for you guys. So thank you so much, everyone.